Welcome to another episode, everyone. Dr. Umar is very upset with Kevin Hart and the other black celebrities there at the so-called Kevin Hart roast. We all know by now that it was not a Kevin Hart roast, instead a public lynching, a minstrel show, a public attack upon every black person in the country, if not the world. Kevin Hart needs to be exculpated from the black community for these treacherous endeavors. Nevertheless, he has not been and probably will not be. Kevin Hart has doubled down since then on the Breakfast Club during an interview and said essentially that it was just jokes and black people needed to get over it and stop being so sensitive. Dr. Umar here gives some of these black celebrities a pass. I don't know why this happens all of the time, even with these so-called black leaders who will not stand up strong enough to lead the people. These individuals are unworthy of a pass. But let's get into it.
How do you feel about this Kevin Hart roast? I know it's been getting a whole lot of backlash right now for some of the jokes that was told on there. You seen it?
Art, on Mother's Day, Netflix had a Netflix is a joke festival, whatever that is. And part of that Netflix is a joke festival, they had the roast of Kevin Hart. I didn't know what this was. I didn't know what it was going to be. I didn't intend to watch it. And then all of a sudden, the day after Mother's Day, my phone started blowing up. My Instagram inbox blowing up. My WhatsApp, my email, you name it, is blowing up. My Patreon is blowing up. I see a clip of a white comedian making a joke of George Floyd's death. It wasn't fun. It wasn't comedy. It was racist. But I thought that was the only joke of the Kevin Hart roast that people had a problem with. So I said, I'm going to need to address this, but I can wait. And then my phone continued to blow up. And I had brothers and sisters saying, Doc, this wasn't the only joke. It was dozens of disrespectful, insulting comedic material during that Kevin Hart roast. So I decided to watch it, Art. I spent 3 hours. It was about 2 hours and 45 minutes. I watched the whole thing from start to finish. I want to first read some of these jokes for your audience who did not see this. It starts off with Shane Gillis. He's the host. I never heard of the devil, but I know who he is now. He starts out by saying, I want to thank Netflix for choosing me to co-host this celebration of Black excellence. And when I heard that, I said, okay, that's an underhanded jab at Black excellence. He's basically trying to say, ain't nothing excellent about y'all. Y'all just a bunch of dumb niggas. That's what he was trying to say. But I said, okay, let me be patient. Because remember, Art, this is a 3-hour program. Then Usher comes out. Shout out to my brother Usher. He performed. He threw some jokes at Kev Hart. It was nice and clean. Shout out to Usher. I had no problem with my brother Usher. Then Tom Brady comes out because Kevin Hart, I believe, hosted Tom Brady's roast back in 2024.
Okay. And so, welcome to the channel. If you don't know who I am, welcome to the Inside Story with me, Damian Porter. And my views are a bit more stringent and militant than Dr. Umar and most other black people, actually, to tell you the truth. And my thought process is, he said that he does not have a problem with Usher, but I do. If Usher was there, he did not go out on a stage and do anything. He didn't stop anything either. Will Smith went out on a stage and slapped Chris Rock. But as I've mentioned before, you have Draymond Green, 6'7", 6'8", who's a menace on the basketball court. an NBA player who attacks individuals that are bigger than him, 7-foot individuals, fights them on the court, plays dirty, hits them with elbows, pushes them down. He leads the NBA in technical fouls for the last who knows what, since he's been in the NBA, last 10 years or something. Can't control himself. And yet he sat through this show. Draymond Green was there, so was Tiffany Haddish. All of these individuals are sellouts. All of them are raccoons. All of them. None of them should be welcome in the community ever again for allowing this to happen. This includes Usher. I don't care if he performed. If you don't get it. Again, when Chris Rock did something, he got slapped for the whole world to see by another black man. Because God forbid a black man disrespects another black man. There's going to be hell to pay. You'll get slapped. You'll lose your life. But if the other dude gets up there and does it, Tom Brady, Tony Hinchcliffe, whatever the hell his name is, the devil, they get up there and disparage and denigrate another black man, they don't have a worry in the world. They're going to make it home safely. You can bet your bottom dollar on that. And so Usher, who, I guess it doesn't matter who he's married to. But yeah, he gets no passes from me. I don't care about none of these sellouts. They're all sellouts. I'm disgusted with all of them, all of these celebrities, particularly everyone that was there during that so-called Kevin Hart roast. It was not a Kevin Hart roast. It was a black people roast. It was a lynching. And they disparaged our entire race to our faces. Well, let's continue.
Tom Brady wasn't as bad as the others.
He bad enough.
He says things like, unlike your real dad, I actually showed up. He looks out at the crowd. Tom Brady says, who are all these people? I thought Spirit Airlines shut down. In other words, you're a bunch of broke black niggas. How did y'all afford to attend this show? Mind you, Art, is mostly white people out there. So this lynching took place in front of a predominantly white audience. I want to shout out my sister Regina King, Art. Regina Hall, not Regina King, Regina Hall, because I didn't see her laugh or barely laugh at any of the jokes. She was up there on the podium sitting down. She did not find it funny. Thank you to Sister Regina Hall for maintaining your integrity, as much of it as you could, during this public lynching of black people described as a comedy show. Shout out to Regina Hall. Art.
No shout out to Regina. No thank yous. Yes, I've seen it. She was there. She was not happy about it. She did not laugh and smile and go along with it. You can tell that she was even perturbed by some of the rhetoric there. She was not happy, and you can sort of see that she was trying to convey that message, that she was not necessarily happy, but still, she sat through it. She sat through it. I haven't since heard her say anything about it, but I don't want to hear what she has to say about it now anyway. If she takes to her Instagram and makes a post or whatever about how horrible it was because you sat through it. You say, well, what was she supposed to do? I don't know. You tell me. Get up, walk away maybe. Go up there and slap someone like Will Smith slapped Chris Rock when he felt disrespected. How we're so quick to damage and be violent towards another black individual? I don't know. Get up and get out of there. She's a woman. No, she shouldn't go up and slap someone. Get out of there then. Don't sit through it. What would she do if she were sitting at home and her significant other were abusing her, calling her all sorts of names, all sorts of B words, and all of this? Would she just sit there and not be happy about it, but still just sit there? No, she would do something. Get up. She would get out of that situation. They sat there and disparaged everyone, including her and her people. This is the problem. These individuals are too soft on these sellouts. Now, I'm not saying that Regina Hall is a sellout. Perhaps she did the only thing she knows how to do. The woman next to her, I think it was Chelsea Handler, was laughing the whole time. Big laughs. And has since come out and said that she had a problem with the roast, that it was bad, it was wrong. Well, you did not exhibit that in real time. In real time, you were laughing along with everyone else. And again, Tom Brady made these racist statements. And he had things going on in the NFL as well. He's not necessarily on black people's side, just like Drew Brees was not. But all of these individuals get a pass from the average black individual. All of them. Black and white get a pass from the black community all the time. They welcome Justin Bieber, even though he's just a culture vulture. And we come to find out he's made racist statements and such and so forth. And of course, I mean, who is surprised? Well, some people are. I, however, am not. And I don't believe that any of these individuals should be welcome to the cookout. We don't have any allies, nor do we need any. And every individual who sat through this roast needs to be condemned, black and white, actually. Particularly these black individuals. And you say it's just jokes, lighten up. And I say to you that that's not going to happen.
They were cursing through the whole thing. Vulgarity, profanity. It was nothing but degeneracy. But let me continue. Shane Gillis makes this joke, Art. He says,
Shane Gillis. Okay, that's a different one, though.
Cheryl's husband unalived himself. Obviously, black does crack because he jumped off a effing roof. Did you hear what I just said? I'm going to say it again. Shane Gillis said Cheryl's husband unalived himself. Obviously, black does crack if it's married to Cheryl and jumps off an effing roof. So I do my research, Art, and guess what I find out? Her husband took his own life by jumping to his death, bro. They made a joke about her husband's suicide, Art, and check this out. It wasn't one joke about her husband's suicide. They repeatedly, throughout the whole show, made jokes about Cheryl Underwood's husband's suicide to millions of people watching this Netflix special all over the world. Let's continue.
Yes. And Cheryl Underwood has since come out and made some old funny, murky, contradictory statements. But according to reports, she had approved the jokes the night before, that this individual, I believe Shane Gilgis, had called her, ran the jokes over by her about what he was going to say and do there at the roast. And she said, okay. This is according to reports. I don't know. I wasn't privy to the phone call. According to reports, that is indeed what happened. Nevertheless, whatever happened there, she sat there and was laughing the entire time too, while they're making these jokes about her dead husband who blanked himself First of all, there's nothing funny about that, about USI. There's nothing funny about that. There's nothing funny about blanking yourself. And to normalize that and minimize that in front of millions of people, because there are individuals in the world who are contemplating this daily. Individuals in the world who do this to themselves daily. And there are some who are, again, contemplating, who are pondering this, who are watching this. There are millions watching. There are many in that group who are pondering this. And to make fun of it could tip the scale in the wrong direction for these individuals. It's irresponsible, it's sadistic, it's racist. Hollywood needs to be ashamed of themselves. They are not. These black individuals, these sellouts, need to be ashamed of themselves. They are not. They know that there will be no repercussions. They are attacking the most vulnerable in the world. You can get away with it as long as it involves a black individual. It can be murder. The black murder rate is the least solved in the country. To rephrase, black individuals who are murdered have their cases solved the least. The murderer of black people is more apt to get away with said crime. And the same holds true for anything in this country as it relates to black people. If you want to get away with it, make sure it involves a black person, whether it be a despicable joke, whether it be an attack, an assault, whether it be you being caught on video, audio, disparaging, denigrating the entire race. As long as it's directed at black people, girls being kidnapped and raped, as long as it is a black girl, you are more likely to get away with it because our lives do not matter in this country. And so they don't have the energy to solve these cases. That's why they haven't never found Biggie Smalls' murder and many other murders of black individuals. Just now, 30 years later, putting somebody in jail for Tupac's murder. They don't care because your life doesn't matter. That's why they can publicly, in front of millions, make these sort of jokes and people tell you to just get over it. They make light of it because they know that they can get away with it. They're going to get away with it. They know that people are just going to be upset for a little while, a few days, then it's going to blow over. Black people are still going to support Kevin Hart, Tiffany Haddish. She had allegations that should have had her counseled some time ago with these children. But no, she's still going to be supported. So is Draymond Green. And so is every other sellout, because they're all sellouts. Every other sellout that black people made rich and famous. They got rich and famous off of black people's backs, off of black people's culture, only to get rich and famous and then turn their backs on us. They're still going to be supported, and they know this. Shameful, if you ask me. They won't be supported by me, none of them. And in fact, I have radical views, extreme even, as to what should happen to these kind of people.
Continue. They call Pete Davidson a wigger, W-I-G-G-E-R. You know what a wigger is? A white person who loves niggas. Then he said, the Golden State Warriors logo is a bridge. Don't show that to Cheryl's husband. You see that, Art? Her husband is deceased. He took his own life. They repeatedly made jokes about this woman's deceased husband. Don't show her husband the Golden State Warriors logo on their jersey because he might want to jump off the Golden Gate Bridge. Let's continue, Art. Then Shane says, racist devil, Shane Gillis, he says, I called Cheryl last night and asked her if it was okay to say some of these jokes. I want to say this to my sister, Cheryl Underwood, Art. I love her. I respect her. Great comedian. I love you, Sister Cheryl. But don't you ever again in your life give permission for white people to disrespect you, disrespect your deceased husband, or disrespect us. Because one thing we got to understand, Art, when they make these jokes about these comedians, they're not just attacking them. They're attacking all of us because they're digging up these old racialized jokes from the slave plantation and they're trying to make them popular again. I know exactly what this is, Art. Just like they trying to put us back in Jim Crow with the vote, they trying to put us back in Jim Crow with the comedy. They're trying to get our black comedians to give them a license to publicly insult, belittle, disparage, and disrespect black people. And I want Netflix to know we not having it. We not having this. We are not going to stand by and let white folks manipulate our comedians into making an ass out of themselves on TV for money so they can make it look like black people don't mind being treated like porch monkeys. Black people don't mind treated like animals. See, they shouldn't have the right to vote anyway. See, they should all be locked up anyway, because who would sit up there and laugh at themselves being humiliated by racist white people? Let me continue, Art. Another joke. Kevin, it must suck being at 5'1", but at least being that short allows them to tell you apart from all the other blacks. In other words, Art, we all look alike. Then Shane said, they told me to be racist. He said this. They told me to be racist. He said it on the mic. And listen to this joke from Shane Neanderthal Gillis. He said, Kevin's ancestors came to America on a slave ship and a bottle. Kevin's ancestors came to America in a slave ship and a bottle, Art. Obviously talking about him being small, but you making fun of our enslavement, the greatest crime in human history, even validated as such by the United Nations last month. Are you kidding? You're going to make fun about the enslavement of my ancestors and you're going to pass it off as comedy. Art, this was not comedy. This was a public execution of the honor, self-respect, and integrity of Black America, and we not going for it. Let me continue. Listen to this one, Art. Kevin's father was a California raisin, but he wasn't raising anybody. His dad was addicted to crack, and he abandoned him. But I guess that's better than being there for the filming of Jumanji 3. I'm telling you, Art, if I didn't see it myself, if I didn't see this myself, you couldn't have told me that these were the jokes that came out of white people's mouths on international television while we were sitting right in front of their face. Let's continue. Here's another one. Now, Shane Gillis didn't say all these jokes, Art. Some of the other white comedians said them too when they got up to the podium, but most of them came from Shane's Neanderthal Gillis. Listen to this one. Kevin did well in Saudi Arabia because they thought he was the monkey from Aladdin.
How is that funny?
It ain't funny, Art. It ain't funny. This was not comedy, bro. This was a get back for Drewski portraying Erica Kirk. But I don't have a problem with what Drewski did, Art, because he wasn't vulgar. He didn't call that woman a bitch. He didn't mention Charlie Kirk's name. All he did was imitate her behaviors, Art, for 3 minutes. That's all Drewski did. But white people are so narcissistic, so paranoid, so psychologically entitled that they don't even think a Black comedian has a right to do a skit of a black woman, of a white woman in whiteface when this white woman clearly supports the anti-black agenda of this government. You damn right Drewski had a right to do what he did. I'm glad Drewski did what he did. But guess what, Art? These jokes that they did at this Kevin Hart roast, it makes Drewski's Erica Kurt skit look like a picnic, Art. You cannot compare that Drewski skit of Erica Kurt to what they did to Cheryl Underwood. In fact, Art, this should not have been called a roast of Kevin Hart. You know what they should have called it? The roast of Cheryl Underwood. This was the roast of Cheryl Underwood. They lured our sister there. They sat her up front, Art. They racially targeted her, and they unloaded on that beautiful, dark-skinned black woman all night long. This was a get back for Erica Kurt. Let me continue, Art.
Okay. And I'm not denying any of that, me myself. But if that is true, don't know that all of it is accurate, but if it is, then she sat through it. She's laughing the whole time. She's there. The man said that he called her the night before and got the jokes approved. And that she approved this lynching of her dead husband. She told these people it was okay to make jokes about her husband blanking himself. Do you care about your husband? Have you ever loved a man? You told them that it was okay to make jokes about the fact that he took his own life? There's something funny about that? When people do this every day? And more, this is your husband that did it? Your life partner? You should be hurt for the rest of your life? And you, what? Oh, let me guess. You got a sense of humor, right? Lighten up, Damian Porter. Right? You need a sense of humor, man. You need to smile more, man. Live a little life. That's what y'all are gonna say, right? In the comments. Lighten up. Don't be mad at her because she has a sense of humor about it. No, that's a sellout move. She sat there with a Kool-Aid smile on her face, showing her freaking teeth as these individuals eviscerated her and her family. She did nothing about it other than laugh. So she's not good with me. Again, everyone there, every single one of them are sellouts. And none of them, and I do mean none, should ever be welcomed back to the community. That's the only time that this sort of thing will stop, when they understand that there are consequences, repercussions behind this. But they know that there is none. So that's why this sort of thing happens, and it will happen again, because nothing's going to be done about it. Black people will even go inside of a store and get their hair done, their nails, toes, or buy liquor from people who hate them. From people, if you go in their country, they'll kick you out of their restaurant. We see footage of it everywhere. But you let them come in your community and get rich, and you go in there, man. Frustrating sometimes, man. I'm telling you. It's frustrating being black in this country, man. Being black with these freaking people, man. I love my people so much. But it's frustrating. We have too much energy for each other. We're too violent towards one another. We're too quick. So there's only freaking clips I see all over the internet. Black people attacking other black people for whatever reason. That don't need a reason. But then we'll sit here and let these people talk to us like this, and all you do is freaking smile. Freaking people make me fucking sick, man.
Kevin did so well in Saudi Arabia because they thought he was the monkey from Aladdin. Here's another one. Listen to this one, Art. Kevin is so short, they will have to lynch him from a bonsai tree. Kevin is so short, they will have to lynch him from a bonsai tree. I got something I want to say. Somebody said that Pastor Jamal Bryant came out, as he should, shout out to Pastor Jamal Bryant, and he rebuked Netflix for this comedy special. Several black people did, but I want Pastor Jamal Bryant to go one step further. Pastor Bryant, you know what you're going to do, sir? You're going to get with other black ministers around the country, and you guys are going to draft a letter. All of you are going to sign it. That letter is going to go to Netflix, and you're going to tell Netflix, if anything like this ever happens again, there will be a national black boycott of Netflix. And not only are we going to boycott Netflix in America, we're going to ask our continental African brothers and sisters, our Australian African brothers and sisters, our Canadian African brothers and sisters, our European African brothers and sisters, our Caribbean African brothers and sisters, our Central and South American African brothers and sisters to boycott Netflix. If Netflix ever disrespects black people like this again, you will pay with your pocketbook. I need the black pastors to send Netflix a letter, Art. I need to...
None of them people he just named are our brothers and sisters. None of them. We have none. We're on our own. I don't know where this guy gets all of this stuff from. Again, not militant enough for me, but he's okay some of the time. And why does Netflix get a pass now? Why is it that if they do this one more time, then we're all going to boycott them? Why do we have to wait till they do it again? That wasn't enough. Why does everyone but black people get a pass? No, they should be boycotted now. They should be canceled now. Not when it happens again. Don't sit through another roast like that. No, we don't want it to happen again. Don't want to see this stuff. Don't want to hear this nonsense. Again, I can tell you what should have happened to the people who were making those jokes, all of them. Every single last one of them. But y'all gonna think I'm crazy. So I'll keep it to myself.
Congressional Black Caucus to send Netflix a letter. I need the Divine Nine, black fraternities and sororities to send Netflix a letter. I need the Urban League, the NAACP, and every grassroots black organization, the Black Masons included. Send Netflix a letter and tell them, if this ever happens again, Netflix will be canceled by the black African race. You are not going to play in our face as you benefit from our pain. You are not going to play in black people's face as you benefit from our pain. And then Jeff Ross got up there. I don't know if you're familiar with Jeff Ross, bald head white dude. I believe he's a cancer survivor. And they made jokes about him, about his cancer. But if white people want to make jokes with white people, that's their business. I ain't got nothing to do with that. I ain't got nothing to do with that. All right? Now, he gets up there and guess what he says? He says, hello, Cheryl Underwood. You look like the donkey from Shrek.
Disrespectful, man.
Art, when I tell you, brother, they terrorized our sister all night long. They humiliated and shamed our sister all night long, and not a single black man in there stood up and said anything about it. Let me say this to my brother Draymond Green from Black Michigan. Draymond, I'm a Draymond Green fan. Draymond Green is an alpha male. He's a stand-up black man.
No, he's not.
Let me say this to you, brother Draymond
No,
Green.
he's not.
From me to you, because I know.
What are you talking about? No, he is not a stand-up black man. No, he is not an alpha male. You will find that many of these black individuals, these black men, these black males are alpha males, very aggressive when it relates and comes to other black men. Again, the most vulnerable, the easiest target to attack in the country. This is why all groups attack. Just the truth. These are just the facts. Some people are going to say that's just playing the victims, just the facts. We don't want to be victims. I want us to be victors. There's a way to do that. We have to stop this sort of nonsense. Let them know we're not playing. And Dr. Umar says Draymond Green is an alpha male and a stand-up man. He's not. He is on the basketball court with other black men, bigger than him or not. True. That's common in this country. This is indoctrinated. He's been indoctrinated. But when he had a chance to stand up for his daughter, for black people worldwide, he folded. I've never seen him smile that much. He showed all his teeth. He was sitting there laughing at this. I couldn't imagine being there listening to this without attacking someone. I just couldn't imagine it. But that place would have went to a shit show. Live on air. Believe me. I don't care who approved these jokes. I don't care who was in on it. I don't care who's sitting there smiling. I'm attacking everybody. I'm going crazy. No way. But Draymond Green, he sat there laughing the whole time. So he's not an alpha male. He's not tough. He picks and chooses who he wants to be tough with. That's not toughness.
You a stand-up black man. Draymond, don't ever sit there again, my brother. Draymond Green, don't you ever sit there again, my brother, and let a bunch of white men disrespect our black women and do nothing about it. What I would have liked to see Draymond do, Art, but I know it caught him off guard. So this is constructive criticism. I'm not throwing my brother under the bus. I would have wished Draymond would have got on that microphone and said, listen, I am a black man. I'm here to support my brother, Kevin Hart. I do not like the quality of jokes that are being made about black women at this show. This needs to change right now. Or me, Lizzo, Cheryl Underwood, Regina Hall. What's the other comedian, Art, that be with Kevin Hart a lot? What's her name? She played in the Girls Trip movie with Jada Pinkett.
Tiffany Haddish.
Tiffany Haddish was there. Man, she didn't speak, though. She was on the podium, but she never spoke, not that I can remember, and they never made any jokes about her. I don't know why she got a pass. I'm glad she got a pass. But Draymond Green should have said, if this don't stop, Tiffany Haddish, Regina Hall, Cheryl Underwood, Lizzo, and myself, we leaving right now. Or Draymond should have just said, Regina, Lizzo, Tiffany, Cheryl, we out. I'm not going to sit here as no black man and let these white, pale-faced devils disrespect y'all in front of my face. I'm not going to have it. So Draymond, next time, bruh, because I know you are alpha male. Next time, you got to stand up for the race, bruh. Celebrity or not. Because what they trying to do, Art, they trying to get us. They trying to get us to validate their disrespect of our race. They literally playing in our face, Art. They are literally playing in our face. Don't you know Shane Gillis called Lizzo a fat black bitch, Art, on the mic? Yes. What did he say? Something about her flute. He said, I see you with that flute, you fat. He didn't say black. He said, I see you with that flute, you fat bitch. Guess who else he called a bitch? Tiana Taylor. Tiana Taylor came out. She read her little jokes and things with Kev Hart, right? As she turned to exit, because she didn't sit up there. I didn't see her up there. As she turned to exit, because the exit was right behind the stage, Shane Gillis got up there again after calling Lizzo a fat bitch. Guess what he says about Tiana Taylor? At least she's good looking, because that bitch is not funny. Did you hear what I just said, Art? At least she's good looking, because that bitch is, he called two black women a bitch and didn't get knocked on his ass. How does a white man call a black woman a bitch? Two different women on international television, Netflix, and don't get knocked on his ass. Let's continue, Art.
Because he's white. That's why. I can't do it, even in a joking form. They're going to say it's distasteful, it's disrespectful. Black women are going to say that. Black people, everyone's going to say it. I can't say it to their sister and mother, Draymond Green, or anyone else, any other black man, even in a joking way, without getting knocked on my backside. But he can get up there and do it. And yes, Umar is right. He should have, Draymond Green, none of them should have sat through it. But as the man, alpha male, inside of the room, he should have jumped up and told them, come on, we out. We're out of here. You stay, you're a sellout. We out. At the very least. Maybe not catch a case and assault one of these individuals there on camera, but at least outside. Will Smith wasn't worried about that. He's not in prison. Slapped the hell out of Chris Rock on camera. We all seen it. Millions have seen it. Millions seen it live. Never spent a day in jail. So if Draymond Green would have slapped Shane Gilgeous, he should have been able to still play next season, not spend a day in jail. If he went on stage and said, man, you disrespected my, bam! Like Will Smith did to another black man, like these cowards are so quick to do to another black man and humiliate another black man in front of millions of people on air. But then let these individuals get up here and disparage our entire race and disparage our women, and you do nothing. Freaking cowards make me sick, man.
Kevin is so short, they will have to lynch him from a bonsai tree. He did well in Saudi Arabia because they thought he was the monkey from Aladdin. His ancestors came to America on a slave ship in a bottle. I'm about to blow your mind now, Art. Listen to this. Guess who wrote these jokes?
Who wrote them?
A group of 17 white men. Art, a group of 17 white men were hired by Netflix to make a night's worth of racially derogatory, insulting, and humiliating jokes about black people. White men wrote these, Art. Let's continue. Jeff Moss calls Cheryl Underwood the donkey from Shrek, and then he says Cheryl's pronouns are he/haw, not her, with the her and she are, but he/haw, like a donkey. Cheryl's pronouns are he/haw. Let's continue. Kevin, then he says, Kevin, I know your dad walked out on you, and then I went to one of your movies and I walked out on you. Here we go. Listen to this joke. Lamar Odom, back-to-back NBA champions with Kobe Bryant, Los Angeles Lakers. We know Lamar Odom had an addictions problem that he kicked, right? Now he doing good for himself. Shout out to Lamar Odom. Listen to this joke, Art. He's not even a part of the program. He's in the audience. And I think it was Jeff Moss. Listen to what he says, Art. I don't want no smoke with The Rock because that's what almost killed Lamar Odom. I don't want no smoke with The Rock because that's what almost killed Lamar Odom. I wish Lamar Odom would have walked up there and smacked the SHIT out of Jeff Ross. Let's continue, Art. Let me make an observation. When they were...
Excuse me. Oh, you best believe he would have if he were a black man. You best believe Lamar Odom would have went up there and smacked the living hell out of him, like Will Smith did with Chris Rock. That's it. Had Brad Pitt made the same joke, Will Smith would have sat there in his chair and laughed, like Kevin Hart sat there and laughed, and like Draymond Green sat there and laughed and showed their teeth. They just sat there and laughed. And if Jeff Ross were a black man who said the same thing about Lamar Odom, joking or not, his face would have been in danger. Right there. Like Chris Rock's face was in danger. That's it. They don't have to smoke for anyone else. Just another black man.
Making jokes about Chelsea Handler. Chelsea Handler caught it too, Art, but not as bad as Lizzo. They kept calling her a whore all night long, talking about how she slept with 50 Cent, even though that's a white woman, Art. Even though that is a white woman, I did not appreciate it for her. I don't date out my race, but guess what? I don't want to see no woman humiliated like that. They humiliated Chelsea Handler, called her a whore all night long, talking about how she be sucking piss, all kind of stuff, Art. But you know why they made her the mule? Why was Chelsea Handler made the mule, Art? Because they had to justify what they were doing to Cheryl Underwood. So Chelsea, you see that, Art? She became the crash dummy, the white crash dummy, to justify their lynching of Cheryl Underwood. But not even Chelsea Handler caught it as bad as Cheryl Underwood. Let's continue, Art. Somebody called her one of the kings of comedy. Cheryl Underwood was called a man, Art, one of the kings of comedy. Listen to this. Then they said she could play Kevin Hart's dad in a biopic. Cheryl Underwood can play Kevin Hart's dad in a biopic. Regina Hall didn't. I love Regina Hall. Not only is she fine, she wasn't laughing. Shout out to Regina Hall. Let's continue, Art. I'm almost done. Lizzo got up there and played. Lizzo looked nice. Shout out to Lizzo.
She wasn't laughing,
Lizzo
but Cheryl Underwood was.
She looked nice. I thought the sex jokes was excessive. She did tell Pete Davidson she would F him. I didn't appreciate that. Lizzo, don't be playing to no racial stereotypes. They already think black women are Jezebels. Don't be running around telling these white men you will F them. I need you to represent for black women. And this is when Shane did it. Art, he said, "Nice flute, you fat effing bitch." His exact words are, quote, "Nice flute, you fat effing bitch." Then Pete Davidson called Cheryl Underwood Babadook. Did you see the Babadook movie, Art? The little all-black little creature? He called Cheryl Underwood the Babadook, and he said the reason she has a Daytime Emmy Award, Art, is because nobody can see her at night. The reason Cheryl Underwood has a Daytime Emmy Award is because no one can see her at night. Listen to this one, Art. Cheryl is as black as the road is black. She looks like somebody made a wish for a puddle of mud to come to life. All night long, Art, this was the roast of Cheryl Underwood, a revenge for Erica Kirk. That's what it should have been called. The racist roast of Cheryl Underwood, revenge for Erica Kirk. She's as black as the road, and she looks like somebody made a wish for a puddle of mud to come to life. Listen to this one, Art. Cheryl is so black, we had to bring Draymond Green to color balance our cameras. Here's another one. Here's a real bad one, Art. Cheryl, you look like a grape Laffy Taffy that went through the dryer. Listen to this, Art. Your hair, that purple outfit you're wearing, looks just like your Pussy. You didn't hear what I just said, Art. I know they didn't say this. Art, I'm quoting, bro. I'm quoting. Let me say that one more time. Cheryl, you look like a great Laffy Taffy that went through the dryer. Your hair, that purple outfit, you look just like your own Pussy. Art, that's not a joke. That's not a joke. That is racial humiliation. That's not a joke. Let's continue. I'm almost done. Here's another joke. Who they talking about again? Cheryl Underwood, Art. This was not about Kevin Hart. This was an Erica Kirk get back. Listen to this. Her husband committed suicide after 3 years of marriage. I've only been sitting next to her for 2 hours, and I want to ask him how did he last so long? Her husband committed suicide after 3 years. I've been sitting next to her for 2 hours. I want to ask him, how did he last so long? Art, somebody better tell Netflix. Somebody better tell Netflix that if you ever disrespect our women like this again, we are boycotting Netflix. It won't be no more Netflix. It won't be no more Netflix. In fact, Tyler Perry, start your black flicks. Tyler Perry, Oprah Winfrey, somebody needs to start black flicks. We need to get away from Netflix anyway. And you know what's funny? I just renewed my subscription to watch this. Let's continue, Art. Almost done. Here we go. George Floyd is looking up at us and laughing so hard that he can't breathe. You making jokes about black people who were murdered by police? That's funny? That's comedy? And let me say this to all the coons, Art, because guess what the coons was saying on my Instagram yesterday? You don't understand risque comedy. Nah, house nigga. Nah, house nigga. I understand risque comedy, but what I'm telling you, I don't care what kind of comedy it is. You're not going to disrespect black people because Art, what they're trying to do is bring back the minstrel show. What was the minstrel show, Art? Back from 1830 to 1930. From the Nat Turner War until the heyday of the Marcus Garvey movement, our greatest black movement of modern history, white people would dress up in blackface, Art, and they would play ridiculous, stereotypical black characters. Zip Coon, the Pickaninny, the Mammy, Uncle Tom, the Laughing Sambo, and they made us look like complete animals and morons. And why did they do it, Art? The minstrel shows, which was the most popular form of entertainment in America at that time, were done to do what? Justify the mistreatment of blacks, justify the lynching of blacks, justify the slavery of blacks. And guess what, Art? They're trying to do it again. They're trying to bring back the minstrel show with the only difference being now, Art, instead of painting their white faces black, they just going to laugh in our black faces.
Yeah, that's true. You know, they're certainly they're just bringing back the overt racism. And they're trying to justify their treatment of black people with this denigration. There are many people who support Ashley Gonzalez, who say that Ashley Gonzalez is their queen. It's going viral. Hashtag I am Ashley Gonzalez. They say that she told no lies in her racist rant, agreeing with her position that black people were slaves for a reason. You know, they point to her statements. They point to the party or whatever that blacks just had in Houston in spring break. And black people were supposedly acting up and acting crazy. And they say, see, we have to keep these people under control. They deserve to be slaves. And many people were saying in Ashley Gonzalez's comments that they support her and support what she stands for and support what she said. That's what these sort of shows do. They indoctrinate people. These people are just sick anyway, but they are indoctrinated. Sickly indoctrinated.
Instead of painting their white faces black, they just gonna laugh in our black faces. Listen to this, Art. Cheryl was in the Air Force, but she couldn't fly. And neither could her husband, who jumped to his death. Is that a joke, Art? Cheryl was in the Air Force, but she couldn't fly. And neither could her husband because he jumped to his death.
No.
Listen to this.
Not funny.
Cheryl gets up there, Art. She gets up there and she tries to defend herself. And she did a good job, but you can't undo this. And what she said, Art, was, I'm glad all you white comics came up here and used all the words that black comics get canceled for saying. She said that. Because, Art, if we would have unloaded on white people like this, you lose your career. Could you imagine if we talked about Jews the way they talked about us that night? They wanted to cancel Dave Chappelle over some transgender jokes. They wanted to cancel Dave Chappelle over some transgender jokes. How is it you want to cancel Dave Chappelle, Art, over some transgender jokes, and you flat out humiliate our black women, our black men, and my whole race in this Netflix roast? It should have been called the Roast of Black America. It should have been called the Netflix Racist Roast of Black America featuring Cheryl Underwood. Listen to this, Art. Kevin Hart gets up there. He's the last half hour, Art. So this is about almost 3 hours. He's the last half hour right before he bring out Meek Mill to do his closeout rap. Shout out to Meek. Kevin Hart says, y'all told me y'all want to see a real nigga tonight, so I'ma be a real nigga. Kevin Hart, I love you, bro, but don't you dare use the N-word around these Caucasians, and don't you dare make them think it's okay to use the N-word. We don't do that, bro. We don't do that. And then he says, Shane was one Bud Light away from calling me a nigga. And then Kevin did something I didn't like, Art, and this is my last piece, and I'm just going to close with my assessment of this. Kevin Hart said, I'm not going to let y'all stand up here and disrespect my black queens, my black sisters, or something to that effect, right, Art? So
he's joking at that time as well, then Kevin Hart is, when he said that, because he just sat through and let him do exactly that, disrespect his black queens the entire time.
Thinking he about to clap back. I'm thinking Kevin Hart about to be an alpha male and say, I didn't appreciate them jokes you made about black women tonight. You went too far, right?
Please.
Instead, you know what he says? He thanks them for coming out. Regina Hall, Lizzo, Tiffany Haddish, Cheryl Underwood. And guess what he says? None of these women have a man. They a bunch of lonely bitchs. Art, they just sat through a whole night of humiliation from white comics. And here's Kevin Hart, my North Philly brother who I love and respect. He gonna turn around, and right when you think he about to defend the honor of black women, Art, he throws them under the bus too. And say, ain't none of them got no man. They a bunch of lonely bitchs. Art, what are we doing?
Yeah, it's not funny. But what are we doing? Well, what we're doing is simple. You're part of the problem. Dr. Umar, you and people like you are a part of the problem. Because you just said that you respect Kevin Hart. You got a lot of love for him. You're a North Philly brother. Even after all of this, that's what you still feel this way. That's the problem. These individuals know that they can do this, the Kevin Harts, Draymond Greens, Tiffany Haddishes, and get away with it in the black community. That they're still going to get love. They're still going to be accepted. They're still welcome to the cookout. Because black people are obsessed in love with heroes and black celebrities and money and fame and power. So they'll let these people get away with it. These people have been selling us out from the beginning. They're still welcome in the community more than I am. That's the problem. You're the problem. Saying that you still love this brother after he just sat there and approved these jokes and sold us out. Saying that Netflix, you got one more time. Damn, you got another chance? They got another chance, huh? What? Black man never gets another chance. He doesn't get a second chance in this country, even by other black people. People have no patience for black folks. You do something you out of line, your ass canceled. But here, hey, Netflix, you can do it all over again. And then we'll all do something about it. No wonder.
They interviewed Cheryl Underwood afterwards. Art, this is what she said. Cheryl Underwood said, a lot of people feel bad for me because they were talking about my husband who committed suicide. But those jokes were written well and they made me laugh. Art, they didn't make her laugh, bro. Cheryl Underwood is a beautiful chocolate sister who better be proud of all that melanin she got. And she's trying to survive as a dark-skinned, beautiful black woman in a racist comedy industry, Art. So she had to say that because they would take her career from her. You feel me, Art? If she would have clapped back, she'll never get another comedy show, and Netflix is supposed to give her a comedy show. But what I want to say to Cheryl Underwood, Art, don't you exchange your dignity, your pride, your honor, your integrity, and your self-respect for no Netflix show. Cheryl, you bigger than that.
For no
money.
And
this is why, Art, we got to come together and pull our money together so black women don't have to go around here accepting humiliation like Cheryl Underwood had to do on Mother's Day, Art. They did this to her on Mother's Day. On Mother's Day. Art, I'm going to say this. Draymond Green, Lamar Odom, Regina Hall, Tiffany Haddish, Lizzo, Cheryl Underwood, and every other black person. As a spokesman for the black freedmen of this country, as a spokesman for the black African race, I'm the most popular grassroots spokesman in the world for my people. Y'all get a pass on Mother's Day. I'm giving them a pass, Art, one pass. But I want Kevin Hart to know, and I don't care who in Philadelphia don't like it, I don't care. I'm letting Lizzo know. I'm letting Cheryl Underwood know. I'm letting Draymond Green know. Tiffany Haddish, Regina Hall, although Regina Hall stood her ground. If y'all ever let white people do this to us again, if y'all ever sit at a comedy show and let white people insult and castrate, verbally castrate and humiliate and shame the black race like y'all did on Mother's Day, we will cancel y'all too. And I'm not playing. Y'all black entertainers better stop playing with the self-respect of black people. You black football players, you black basketball players, you rappers, you goofy ass rappers, you singers, you actors, you dancers, you comedians. I'm telling you now, white folk are going to try to use them, Art. They're going to try to use them to bring back the modern day minstrel show by humiliating us in their faces. And I'm letting the whole black entertainment world know right now, we will march on your ass. We will march on your house. We will boycott your movies. Don't play with me. I'm telling y'all now, I'm talking to every black entertainer in this country. Don't play with me. If you think we're going to sit by and allow you to let white people make a mockery of black people so you can get paid, you got another thing coming. Like I said, Kevin Hart, we all human, bruh. I don't know how you sat through that, but you get a pass. Draymond, I know you a stand-up black man. I don't know how you sat through it, but you get a pass. Lizzo, Tiffany Haddish, Cheryl, Regina, all the other black people who were there that I didn't see, you get a pass.
Okay. It's about to go off. There you have it. Let me know what you think in the comments. To all the people that he just mentioned, you do not get a pass. I don't know why he would say you do. Why do they have to sit through it again? Why do they have to allow it again before something is done about it, before we're upset enough to do something about it? As if they didn't know the first time that they were being raccoons, they were being sellouts for allowing this to happen. And them sitting there laughing. They didn't know this already when they did it. Now they know better. So if you do it again, then we're going to have a problem with it. That's the problem. That's the problem with black people and black celebrities that sell us out. They sell us out and they still get a pass. You just name 10 people that still get a pass, including Kevin Hart, who put this whole thing together. And then has just doubled down, as I said, on the Breakfast Club, Kevin Hart. Because he knows he's going to get a pass. He knows he's venerated by black people. Black people are going to love and support him anyway, just because he's Kevin Hart. That's why he does it. That's why people like him do it, because they know they're going to get away with it. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm sick of these people. Stay safe and stay free, people.